Welcome back to Universally Speaking, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the WWE Vengeance Special, where we take a snapshot look at what you can expect at what could be one of the most stacked pay-per-views since WrestleMania or SummerSlam. We start with the announcement that after his challenge that he laid down to Drew McIntyre, the match has been made official. Tommaso Ciampa versus Drew McIntyre is set to go ahead, but with one major caveat. This match is only pending a medical assessment of Ciampa himself. He had his head spiked on the concrete in the parking lot by the Scotsman. And given the clear issues that he's had with his neck, and probably knowing that there is a certain air of inevitability with the decision, he has so far refused medical attention, even going as far as putting his hands on the doctor as he was being assessed on Raw. This bitter blood feud between two of the most dangerous men in all of WWE could be colliding at Vengeance, but there is a real asterisk next to this one. We'll have more news as it comes to hand. A match that is 100% going ahead though is this somewhat dream match between two of the best SmackDown has to offer, and that of course is Kevin Owens versus Ricochet. This issue stems all the way back to the Fatal 4-Way WWE Championship match at No Mercy when Kevin Owens delivered a devastating apron powerbomb to Ricochet during that match and taking the self-proclaimed king out for a number of weeks, only for Ricochet to return during Kevin Owens' number one contenders match against Finn Balor to cost Owens that match by slamming Owens into the ring post. So this tit-for-tat continues going into Vengeance with plenty of bad blood between these men. And finally, Owens, after weeks of chasing, gets his hands on the self-proclaimed king, Ricochet. You don't want to miss this one. Up next, we're going to talk about the Intercontinental Championship and, of course, the Best of 7 series that will get underway with its first contest. And that, of course, is Keith Lee versus the legendary Rey Mysterio. This looks every bit the lopsided matchup on paper, but as they say, matches aren't won on paper. They are won in the ring. And although this is both figuratively and literally a tall task for Rey Mysterio, he has faced this kind of adversity and size disparity his entire career with unbelievable and unrivaled results. This kind of matchup won't faze Mysterio, and he has plenty of opportunities both at Vengeance and in the future, of course, as this is a best of 7 series, to figure out Lee. But speaking of Lee, will the big stage against a legendary opponent get the better of him? He has the size, power, and at times is on an even keel when it comes to the speed advantage as well. But Mysterio has built a career on seizing small opportunities to defeat bigger opponents. Will Lee slip up or step up? We'll find out at Vengeance. Now let's talk the United States Championship and the interesting situation that's developed between Mike Kanellis and Andrade Cien Almas. Mike Kanellis has one thing that very few people in WWE have right now, and that is a W over the current reigning and defending United States Champion. Was it controversial? Yes. Did he cheat? Absolutely. But it is a win nonetheless. And it all comes at the hands of a steel chair and the assist from his wife Maria, who has shown up in recent times to aid her husband. Now we can tell you that yes, this match is for the gold. We can also confirm that both Maria Kanellis and Zelina Vega have been banned from ringside by Shane McMahon. Those two women will be doing battle on Raw the night after Vengeance, with Zelina's spot in the women's power rankings on the line. So with no distractions at ringside, the gold on the line, will Kanellis be able to repeat the victory that he holds over Almas, or will Almas yet again show his class and hold on to his belt? That all remains to be seen. Let's now talk about the Tag Team Championships and the chaos that has been threatened by current champion Sanity. In the wake of finding out their opponents will be none other than the charismatic Street Profits, as the Street Profits lost the championships and lost their way as a tag team, which caused a small rift between the two, but as good teams do, they stuck together and forced the issue and forced their way back into contention. But as we always say here, there is a dark cloud hanging above the SmackDown Tag Team division in the form of Sanity, who had an ominous message for not only the roster, but everybody in attendance. Eric Young said that no one in the entire building is ever safe, no matter what the situation or where Sanity is. They thrive in chaos, and they look to create that chaos at Vengeance when they defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against what could be the most popular team in the division. It's now time to talk about what could be arguably the most anticipated match of the entire show, perhaps the entire series, when we see Apollo Crews versus Brock Lesnar number 2. This match is years in the making. These two men, and this can't be understated, absolutely can't stand one another. All the way back at WrestleMania and beyond, Apollo Crews defeated Brock Lesnar, being handed the Singapore cane by Paul Heyman, who then revealed he was a silent partner in ESM the whole time and had a hand in the creation of the company. Heyman pushed Lesnar towards Crews in order to raise the stocks of ESM against the big name of Brock Lesnar, to then get one over on the Beast. And as they say, the rest is history. Crews would go on to have one of the strongest championship reigns in history, and ESM would go from strength to strength. But now, the climate has changed. Lesnar has returned at the request and subsequent massive payout from Vince McMahon, and the tables have turned. Crews is no longer the champion. Crews is showing signs that he may be in a bit of a slump, and the Beast is out for his ultimate vengeance and looks to put another nail in the coffin of the organisation that has caused him so much grief. Will he finally land that elusive F5 on Crews? All of these questions will be answered, and that isn't all that's at stake in this match. If Crews loses, he will not be able to challenge for the World Championship ever again on Raw for as long as Shane McMahon is at the helm. And if Lesnar wins, he receives a World Championship match in the near future. So there is just so much on the line, so much hate, so much history. Who will prevail? Let me know in the comments below. And speaking of the World Championship of Raw, that will be contested in somewhat of a present versus the future mouth-watering matchup. Cedric Alexander has had his run-ins with the aforementioned ESM, and, well, he was recently given some unlikely respect by Apollo Crews after Alexander was victorious over Braun Strowman in a number 1 contenders match. He's had several roadblocks along the way, including a narrow loss to Drew McIntyre, but that hasn't slowed Cedric down. He will go in with maximum confidence and nothing to lose, which is a dangerous combination. Speaking of dangerous, AJ Styles has been on a tear in recent weeks, and his shift in attitude from happy-go-lucky fan favourite to a secluded introvert, aggressive beast, has seen him capture the World Championship. He will be a force to be reckoned with, and if you ask me, this might be a task too large for Cedric, but if we've learned anything about this plucky youngster, it's that he has the heart of a lion. He's going to need to bring it all against the phenomenal one. Now we get to the first of 2 massive women's championship matches when the submission magician Shayna Baszler collides with the Aussie ass kicker Toni Storm. These 2 women have been dominant on the women's power rankings of SmackDown, and the Blue brand will be represented strongly when 2 of their very best collide. Baszler, although losing to Rhea Ripley at Survivor Series, hasn't lost any momentum at all and looks to swiftly bounce back and take yet another scalp and get her hands on the SmackDown Women's Championship. But her opponent Storm looks to stop her at every juncture, and in my opinion, the key to this matchup will be Storm's ability to avoid the submission attack of Baszler, as the Kirifuda clutch has brought so many undone. If Storm can use her unique offense effectively and avoid the clutches of Baszler, it will go a long way to her winning this one. capturing her first championship on SmackDown. The other enormous women's championship match will be between the aforementioned Rhea Ripley and the Japanese superstar that is the Pirate Princess, Kairi Sane. Sane has been by far the big standout in terms of competition for Ripley over the last month. She finished off a phenomenal run with a victory in the Triple Threat #1 Contenders match on Raw. Ripley, much like Storm, will have to avoid the key attacks from Sane, as it is the insane elbow that will be bringing her, like everyone else, undone. But Ripley almost holds every single physical advantage in this match over the very slight Sane, bringing power, speed, and devastating moves to the table. After all, she is the champion for a reason. Sane will have to navigate the rising tide of Ripley and sail her way to victory, but can she do it? Let me know in the comments below. And now we're going to talk about the final match of this stacked card, the WWE Championship match between two of the best pure professional wrestlers in the world. Daniel Bryan will lead ESM into battle as their only champion to take on the wrestling purist Cesaro in what is shaping to be potentially one of the best wrestling matches of the entire series. Cesaro won his way into this match after going through a grueling 30-minute Iron Man match with Drew Gulak in what is being dubbed right now as possibly one of the best matches of all time. Is this the perfect preparation from someone the caliber of athlete of Cesaro, or will he not have enough in the tank? Daniel Bryan will look to exploit every possible avenue and dissect the Swiss Superman. Bryan has become more and more maniacal in recent months and becoming more and more obsessed with winning and being a champion. He seems to slowly be buying into the message that ESM forces on the public. Daniel Bryan, irrespective of his allegiances though, is one of the best wrestlers of all time, and he will defend his title with everything he has. This one, ladies and gentlemen, could be one of the best wrestling matches we've ever seen in the series, so strap in. It's going to be a hell of a ride. It's never been more important, of course, ladies and gentlemen, to have notifications on as we are live on YouTube every single episode of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and pay-per-views and takeovers. It's all live, premiered on the channel. There is a ton of great ways you can support the channel as well and receive awesome benefits, including signing up as a mid-carder or above on Patreon to get early access to every single video. You can join the Murphs Elite also right here on YouTube by clicking the join button to get access to emotes and special sub badges, and there is 2 tiers. You can sign up as just a rookie so you can use the sub badges and the emotes in the chat for the live premieres, or you can sign up as an established star to get emotes, sub badges, and access to our private Discord server. And as always, the Teespring store is open for business 24/7 if you want to pick up a Murphs YT13 t-shirt or hoodie, or the ESM endorsed Elite t-shirts, as well as the combustible written all over it t-shirts and mugs. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, for Murphs YT13, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at Vengeance.